Okay, good morning again. RadioKair here with Meet the Merchant. We're continuing down our path to highlight veteran-owned businesses in our wonderful community. It's one of the things that is great about our community and a little different from the rest of the state of Texas is that we have a large veteran population in Houston and the surrounding areas. I mean, it's strong, right? You got a lot of brothers and sisters out there that you can lean on, and it's a great blessing to have in our community. And this is Radio Care's way to spend some time with them, showcase these veteran-owned businesses, give them some accolades for what they've accomplished in their career, as well as what they're looking to do and what kind of business they created. So we are now joined with Miss Lakisha Mead from Major Funds Consulting.
That is correct.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah. So Lakisha, why don't you just tell us a little bit about where you came from? You know, Houston area resident for how long? Where you born and raised, and then a little bit about your lead up to launching this firm.
Okay. Well, my name is Lakisha. I'm originally from Louisiana. I'm a Navy veteran. I've been in Houston about a little over 5 years now. And what began me with Major Funds Consulting is a lot of people are financially bleeding. And as a veteran in the community, I definitely seen the need. So, you know, everything that we do is quote unquote money. Sometimes we are unaware that the money that we make actually leaves us quicker than we make it.
Yep. So, I can't continue until I thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Right?
Yes.
How long were you serving and what branch? And
I did 15 years in the Navy.
15, you do not look like you are old enough to have done 15 years of anything.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, 15-year Navy vet.
Lots of water, lots of tea, and lots of sleep.
Well, you're doing better than me in all three of those areas, it appears. 15-year Navy vet. Okay, when you say financially bleeding, can you define that a little bit for us? Because that could mean a bunch of different things. But with your firm, what are you hoping to accomplish in the financially bleeding scenario?
So in Major Funds Consulting, what we would like to do with our clients is assist them to become financially stable, financially secure, and financially successful. Financially bleeding is defined by a lot of different things. So I believe in it. There's a 4 sides to every corner, right? So you can have money coming in and you can know your monthly income. And you can also know just about how much you have left over. But what does that look like on 4 sides of the square? Or is your square complete? Most times out of 4 sides, people are typically missing 2 sides. 3 sides at best. They have it all together, but it's about a 50-50 shot. So that's where we come in to help them.
So with the 4 square theory, what is that? I mean, what are those 4?
Well, the three of them, the pillars are the stability, becoming financially stable,
Okay.
helping our clients to understand what it is to better assess their current need. Okay, the second part of the financial security is once you identify in most problems, right, you have to acknowledge the problem. So we help them acknowledge the problem in assessing the stability, and then in the security piece, we help them put together what it is, what I would like to say, moving from point A to point G, which is in essentially the end, the goal, the financial goal that they want. The third piece is the financial success. I mean, even if they are what some people would consider themselves to be a financial failure or not successful right now, how can I assess with the client what it takes to make them financially successful? And then the fourth part is, you know, the client themselves. They have to be willing, what I like to refer to, or as some wise people once informed me of, is the raw method, which is those that are ready, able, and willing to become financially stable, secure, and successful.
Yeah, I like the analogy there, raw method. It reminds me of an old mentor I had years ago, and he called it, you know, you're using a method, ready, able, and willing. Sometimes in business we don't have that opportunity. Sometimes you have to lead by different methods, let's say.
Yes, yes.
And we called, until they were raw, until they were ready, able, and willing, we called it face mask management.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
that's grab them by the face mask, pull them close to you, and make sure they
That sounds
understand.
about right.
And then we get them to the raw stage, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So now I appreciate that, and the client base you're looking for, who is that? I mean, you said ready, able, and willing, and I understand that, but the people listening, and maybe people that are listening that could become clients, or maybe people listening, which are a lot of our chamber friends, they're going to come in with potentially people they know that need your support. So in all of our thoughts, who are you looking for as far as a client?
In the beginning, I did initially start with working one-to-one clients, and then I started to see the greater need. So now my target market is veteran service organizations, because I cannot express enough how genuine of a connection I have among the veteran community. So to help my sisters and brothers in arms that are active or at home, or that are even in another career, getting ready to hang those up. So the veteran community and veteran service organizations. Also the educational space. I love to help out there with our young children, because quite naturally, for the most part, for 12 years, we're taught how to make the money, but no one teaches us how to make the money grow for us. So the sooner that we can get them trained up on how to better, make their money grow for them while they do something else, that is where I'm at. So I would say in the educational space, from grades about 6 up to, your local college or even colleges, I'm open for that as well.
All right. Well, we have some alliances with a couple around here. You're very familiar, I'm sure, with San Jack, San Jacinto, and then Lone Star around the corner.
Yes.
Both of those groups we're pretty closely tied to. So that definitely is a need early in life, and it'll benefit you. And it'll benefit you forever, right? To have that education, have that understanding. I've always thought that they need to do a better job, and this is throughout. I'm not criticizing anybody, but do a better job, and maybe middle high school teaching people about home budgets, right? They teach you home economics, how to wash dishes, how to cook things.
Right.
Well, let's take it a layer back. Let's talk about what does that home economics look like, and how to allocate money certain places. And I just don't think our education system does a good job of it.
That's one reason why I even dove into the education space, because for me, a little bit of my story was once I left home and I joined the Navy. One thing that I did notice is that I like shoes, and on the 1st and the 15th, everyone that served get paid on the 1st and the 15th. Okay, well, there's this little company that makes a lot of shoes. They make a lot of shoes with a check on the side, and every 1st and 15th, or every other 1st and 15th, meaning the month January, the odd months on the 1st and the 15th, every time I got paid, they got paid. And that happened, this is me, that happened for the better part of my first enlistment. I wish I could call them back. I wish I could call them back. Can I get just a fraction of the money right now, like, to do something? And to me, it was a trap. I mean, at the time I was doing it was an effortless trap. And I'm sure that there are now, being 2023, everything's so automated, so digital, right at your fingertips, is one less thing that you even think about, the habit or the trap or the financial trap. And not before long, that was my first enlistment was 5 years. And so we're talking about at least 36 months out of 60, every other month, or at least once a month for every other month, I was getting some shit. I mean, it was ridiculous. Even people only knew me for buying shoes on deployment. It was crazy. So I know if I could heal myself, I could help those too now.
Yeah, that's me and actually Wesley, one of our veteran partners that's here. We were talking a second ago about the famous text message from the spouse, right? Of, hey, is today the day? And my answer is simply, typically with my wife, no. And all of a sudden, she's like, then she does it on her own, which is a totally different thing, and she makes her own money, so it's part of life. But I think we all have our vices, right? Things we like to buy, and when we have some extra, we do it. But I think the education piece of it, of okay, well, you also have to have this, which is the savings and the succession planning and all those things. So I appreciate that. So it sounds a bit like you may work with the veteran community as they're transitioning out of the military. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. That is very accurate as they transition out and as they begin to start over, so to speak. Because sometimes we do need a little bit of time to decompress, depending on where your area of expertise was on while you're active duty. I know for myself, I served and started off the Gulf War and had during USS Cole, the bombing, the trade centers, all of that. So I too definitely have a lot on my mental. So sometimes we need a little bit of time to transition, but by the time whatever time that is, you have decided, you have grown up, and you know what else that you want to do. And sometimes the life that we've come to live as veterans, meaning the first and the 15th, quite naturally, a lot of these jobs, they just don't pay what we're used to getting paid. Like, honestly, some of them, we're used to getting paid on the 1st and the 15th, right? And some of the jobs only pay what you get paid on the 1st or the 15th, not the 1st and the 15th. So that in itself is a whole financial shock, along with being at home every day. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely and then having access, right? So when you're deployed and you're overseas, what's on your mind isn't shopping.
No, unless you're just starting out. And like I said, when you first starting out on that first enlistment, you like, yeah, this is okay. But then it's not okay.
And then you come home and you have access to, they will deliver this
tomorrow
morning.
They will.
So
They will.
I get it. So, okay, perfect. Okay, so we kind of got the clients nailed down. And do you, I have financial advisor buddies that deal in that space. A lot of them also look for people that are transitioning in careers, not only in the military career, but I've got military friends that retired from that space, let's say 15 years ago, right? And now they're going from their successful business to another business, and now they've got maybe a corporate type job where they have those 401ks that have built up, and now we've got to transition it to other things. Is that a type of client that you like to speak with?
Also, definitely, all things money. I have a master class that I run, and it's entitled Money Matters. And we go into a lot of those things, whether it's you're just putting the gloves on, you're deciding which gloves fit the best, or you're getting ready to hang the gloves up. And so in a situation like that, like you're saying, somebody's changing careers, they want to figure out what gloves they want, because, as we live today, we're living a lot longer than we did, than our grandparents and our parents did. So a lot of people are actually able to benefit from having a second job that they can quote unquote retire from.
Okay. So you say master class. I assume that's a session you're hosting somewhere around the Houston area, or?
Yes. So
you want to tell us about that?
Okay, so every 2 weeks for the rest of 2023, beginning November 2nd, every 2 weeks I will be hosting a master class on Facebook. And I'll put the link. I'll provide the link on my Facebook page, and I'll get you that information in a minute. And in that master class, we're there for about 45 minutes to an hour, and we go over some very basic principles. And then people there can come there, and I'll offer an opportunity for them to work with me if they deem that they want more than that. That is one way that I give back. I provide those classes, and I offer my clients the opportunity to work with me one-on-one.
Okay, right on. Perfect. So just real quick, we'll go through it again in a minute, but people that are trying to get a pen right now.
Yeah.
That Facebook.
Yeah.
I know it's Lakisha Mead, right?
Yeah, that's my personal. But
how do they find you on the Facebook side?
On the Facebook side, you can find me on Major Funds Consulting Firm is page, and on my IG is up and coming, but you should be able to find it there too, Major Funds Consulting.
All right, perfect. Well, thank you so much for that. Okay, so now we're going to get into what I cherish the most, and people that know me understand this is kind of what gives me my reason to get up and get rolling every day. My why, what are we doing this for, John? Why are you interviewing veterans right now? Well, this is kind of my way of giving back, right? My way of showcasing our veterans, and this is my community give back, and I do several, but this is one of them that I hold near and dear to my heart. What is Major Funds Consulting? What do they stand for? What is their community give back? What is Lakisha Mead? What is your give back? What are you doing personally? How are you helping to make the greater Houston area and our immediate environment, how are you making it better for everybody in the future?
So one way that I provide a give back is I make sure that I build my connection within my veteran community that is very near and dear to me. So at least once a month or once every other month, I make sure that I'm out building new relationships with other veteran-owned businesses. The other thing that I do is, like I say, I offer the master class every few weeks. And around the holiday time, I usually run a special for those, that are looking to see a new change in the upcoming year. And so throughout all of that, I just make myself as open as possible. I will be starting next year doing a little bit more with volunteer work on the community center side. And I want to travel around Houston, just find a location on each side of Houston to where, like, once a quarter, I'll get with a community center to provide that master class in person.
Okay, so a couple of them that I understand you were introduced to us through was the Veterans Community Chamber. And
Yes.
what do they call that? I know it's up and coming, and I'm really excited because there is a ton of buzz about it. The
Houston Veteran Chambers Commerce. Yes.
Okay.
So we all get together there, and we just recently had an expo down at the Georgia Arts Center Convention Center back in September, and it was for all of the Houston veteran business owned businesses, and it was huge. And they do that once a year, so it was good getting out there with all my fellow sisters and brothers. I mean, you name one industry, we all were there.
Yeah, it is neat. So I'm on the board of the Greater East Montgomery County Chamber of Commerce, and our president and CEO is a guy named Mark Lineberry, and he's done a great job connecting our chamber back to veterans. The president and CEO of that chamber, the Veteran Chamber, is actually our speaker for November for veterans.
Okay,
So it's going to be, we're all looking forward to it because the way he organizes it is it's kind of all about veterans, that luncheon in November. And it, the presenting sponsor is one of my friends, and he's a former Navy veteran. The
Go Big Blue.
Yeah, the chamber, your chamber is going to be one of the speakers at it, right? Okay. It's kind of all things veterans, which I think is such a great time of year to remind us. We're leading up to Christmas, and we all can spend too much money in Christmas, right? We all got kids. We've all got,
Christmas comes and goes.
Yeah, but leading up to that, I think, is a great time of year to go, hey, look, let's think about maybe those who sacrificed, as opposed, let's budget something for them as well as our Christmas, right?
Correct.
So I think it's a great opportunity to and it comes at a great time of year where people are really starting to think about how to give back, and I support it 100%. Another place that you may go find veteran friends. Are you part of any of the VFWs here in the area, or?
I am not yet.
Not yet, okay.
But I'm sure after this begins to circle, somebody's going to be calling me.
Yeah. Well, we do have some friends that are in our chamber that we can introduce you to, and the post out in, I want to say he's in Porter, Jay, one of our dear friends, but he's the, what do they call it, commanding officer or whatever it is for the post. Super good guy, but yeah, as you're getting to those chamber relationships, you would be surprised at how many people non-military are actually involved in the VFW, and
exactly.
that helps you more people, more faces kind of theory, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Is there anything that maybe we didn't talk about as far as clientele, marketing, your business that maybe we need to disclose at this time?
You can find us on the socials on Facebook.
Okay.
And
that Facebook
my
again
Facebook is Major Funds Consulting Firm.
Okay.
My point of contact phone number is 318-200-9794.
And everyone, that is a cell phone number that I'm going to be texting here shortly. But
That is.
So that's a direct line of communication. There's no in betweens. There's no operators. There's
no in between.
Linking through India somehow.
That is not. My email address is ace_23 at majorfundsconsultingfirm.com.
Okay.
And
any websites?
Any website? Yes. Look, you can type it in majorfundsconsultingfirm.com.
Where did you get the name Major Funds Consulting?
You know how they came about? Major Funds Consulting came about because money is major. It is. It is major. And whatever it is, like when I'm assisting and helping my clients, it's not about the money that I'm going to make, when I'm doing in front of the organizations or if I'm with client to client that want to work with me. That's a business. I'm in business to help others. Okay. But it's major for a lot of reasons because everyone's money is major to them. So even, if you make we make 30 or 40,000 a year in the military, that may be $1 million to someone who's only making, 20 or 25. Mm-hmm. So money is a major deal. The funds, it's just funds. This is another way of saying money. I didn't want to say major money because it's so, but major funds, yeah, and that's kind of how that stuck with me.
That would be a funny name. It sounds like it would reference maybe a music video as opposed to a
right, exactly. But I mean, come on, the master class is what gets it because it is Money Matters. The master class is entitled Money Matters, and in the Money Matters arena, we talk about major funds, how it is applicable to each person at every level, and whether they're just putting their gloves on, they want to figure out what size gloves they want to put on, or if they're getting ready to hang the gloves up, so it all flows.
Okay. Well, Lakisha Mead with Major Funds Consulting. All right. Thank you so much for your time today. Obviously, thank you for your service. I'm so glad that we met. We got to understand each other a little bit. You understand what we're trying to provide here at RadioKair. I can understand what you're trying to give back to the community and support with, a little bit of money management, a little bit of education, and then a little bit of hey, plan for your future and don't buy shoes on the 1st and 15th, right?
Hey, don't buy the shoes on the 1st and the 15th. I'm just saying, everybody has their thing, like you say, whether it's the shoes, the watches, the purses, the bags, the houses.
There you go.
Just don't be that.
Well, thank you again, Miss Mead.
No problem. Thank you.
Look forward to it.